Know what's crazy? XRP has spent the last month essentially stuck sideways. Here's the problem though. We are constantly bombarded with announcements. I'm referring to some incredibly exciting developments inside the XRP ecosystem. Additionally, they're discovering more and more practical applications for XRP. But this is what really astounds me. The majority of individuals remain quite negative about XRP. They are currently pessimistic about the entire cryptocurrency market. Because let's face it, the recent price action has been somewhat erratic and dull. Those recent highs are simply not being broken through. Check this out then. The chart for XRP is screaming at me when I look at it. We appear to have a giant flag pattern that is essentially waiting for a big breakout situation. Speaking about the larger market, Bitcoin is currently trading at over $113,000. Since Bitcoin has the potential to be the start of something significant, I'm keeping a close eye on it. In addition, altcoin season is still rising, now holding a respectable 54 out of 100 ranking. However, since I've been stating the same thing for the past year, I really want to focus on XRP. This is a completely crazy setup. Bullish indications are screaming up and down the chart. Look, it's rather obvious what we're dealing with when you zoom out and take a close look at what's happening here. In essence, we're just waiting for that huge impulsive move to eventually appear on the chart while we sit in this choppy price action. The entire situation was essentially this enormous flag pattern that finally erupted upward, much like what happened back there after we topped in January and spent years simply chopping around and around. We went straight to $3.65 after that breakout. And you know what? Right now, we're witnessing the exact same scenario, albeit with a smaller period structure. The problem is that until this next significant breakthrough occurs, this still indicates that we're going to hit $4 and higher. What then is actually behind this positive trend in XRP? Just consider all that has transpired over the last many months. I'm not simply referring to XRP specifically. XRP's original vision of becoming the true internet of value is being supported by the massive expansion we're seeing across the entire ecosystem, including tokenization payments, on-chain effects transactions, and support for all real-world applications that are actually using the XRP ledger. What's truly exciting though is this. We continue to observe an increasing number of adoptions. Consider the MVX.com listing for XRP. You would think that by now, XRP would be widely available, wouldn't you? As it happens, it is not at all the case. In fact, XRP was recently added to this exchange. The fact that it's actually catering to the Norwegian market, which we all assumed was already oversaturated with XRP choices, despite being a lower tier platform, absolutely astounds me. Not at all. Therefore, it's fantastic to note that XRP's market is still growing. This stuff is important because it's just more liquidity pouring through the system, increasing trading volume, and eventually adding value to XRP. That's another trade listing, and it's incredibly thrilling to watch. May cross XRP off the list, but hold on, there's more. Some amazing data were just released by the CME Group. In fact, interest in XRP futures contracts has soared above $1 billion. Take this. It took little over 3 months to reach that milestone, making it the fastest contract in history. Additionally, we are already considering XRP ETFs based on futures worth over $800 million. In all honesty, I believe that people are incredibly ignoring the impending need for spot XRP ETFs. I also think that Nate Goroshi deserves a lot of credit for his thorough research into this topic, because ETF analysis is what this guy does for a living every day. The problem is that, in my opinion, practically everyone is now undervaluing XRP. It seems as though XRP's incredible success this year isn't even receiving enough recognition. Gains of 400% or more are at stake here. Beyond that though, I believe they're completely ignoring what XRP is going to do to these charts in the future. When you consider the CME Group's circumstances and the growing momentum of ETFs, in all honesty, I don't think anyone is aware of what will happen to XRP once these ETFs go live in the US. For XRP holders and the price action itself, we're looking at what is going to be an extremely amazing time. Can you even imagine what will happen when all these enormous spot ETFs launch in the United States, given the volume and general hunger we're already seeing from the CME Group alone? Here we're talking about well-known companies that are introducing these goods. Simply because of the demand and volume growth, we will really see this colossal tsunami smash into XRP. It's going to be crazy, but take a look. Additionally, we have this Cointelegraph piece regarding the CME Group predicament. This is actually what they themselves posted. Gimme Group cryptocurrency futures, open interest spikes, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, all achieved significant milestones. On the basis of these futures contracts alone, we anticipate that open interest in XRP and Solana may surpass $1 billion. At $16 billion and $10.5 billion respectively, Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing well in the meantime. It's really amazing to watch these stuff, but here's the worst part. In just 3 months, XRP surpassed that billion-dollar milestone. Everyone is genuinely ignoring how bullish XRP is right now, I'm telling you. Here's the crazy part. Nowadays, almost everyone is aware of XRP, regardless of whether they are avid cryptocurrency users or merely interested bystanders. In our entire space, XRP is essentially turning into this blue-chip centerpiece project. In my opinion, it has always been that way, but it seems like the rest of the world is just now realizing this as well. However, for some reason, many are still unaware of what XRP is truly capable of. Earlier today, I came across this post while browsing my timeline, and since it's essentially just the facts, I felt compelled to include it in this video. We have this entire roadmap of phases unfolding. When you truly break down XRP and all the extremely bullish catalysts that are stacking up at the moment, the RLUSD debut marked the beginning of phase 1. Then, without warning, Trump was sworn in. Watch as Gary formally packs his bags and departs the SEC next. The conversation around XRP's strategic reserve is intensifying, and XRP is being discussed. Though I wouldn't say we're quite there yet, the Ripple case, which is concluded and over, is undoubtedly coming up. Additionally, Ripple continues to announce these significant bank collaborations. They have agreements in place with BNY Mellon already. Additionally, they collaborate with other significant players, including HSBC, one of the biggest banks in the world. The approval of the XRP ETF is still pending. Indeed, those exchange-traded funds ETFs are on the horizon. Nobody needs me to explain that to them, in my opinion. The demand, the underlying value, and the significant money coming in are all demonstrated by this CME Group news alone, isn't it? If I were in charge of an asset management firm and wanted to introduce a spot ETF, I would be examining XRP's performance and what it achieved in just 3 months. And I'm thinking, okay, this thing has the potential to make us a fortune. These asset management companies and ETF producers are currently figuring that out. Take a look at BlackRock's Bitcoin strategy. They were obviously aware of the enormous demand and the fantastic possibility to make money that was there. That's right, they have the same ravenous eye for XRP. But we're also seeing Ripple keep up these calculated actions that, in my opinion, directly improve XRP's value proposition. Before we get into it, let's have a look at this announcement that caught my eye. Xrp just announced a significant milestone and some exciting news. Our Series B investment round is now closed. Additionally, there are many notable individuals on their backer list, but Ripple is right there with them. We must now wonder what Xrp is doing specifically if Ripple is investing in it. Here is a breakdown of their platform. In essence, this is a powerful worldwide payment system that enables you to send money to almost any location on Earth. Cross-border payment solutions are at the center of it all. Furthermore, we have seen Ripple play this game already, don't we? They've been doing this for a while. For some time now, Ripple has supported platforms such as these. Here's what I'm truly interested in though. What do they hope to achieve here? Because 173 countries are covered when you look at the data. In addition to offering more than 75 quick payment choices, they also tout a 7% greater success rate. I have a feeling that the XrP system will be seamlessly integrated with Ripple's payment infrastructure. Without such integration as part of the plan, Ripple would never invest in this business. I predict that stablecoin efforts will be promoted here, and perhaps even RLUSD will be integrated into the platform itself. That's my interpretation.